What's a bad piece of advice you hear all the time?
Have a plan B. People assume that I'm just like a tyrant and I'm running over people. But everything from there, I was like, how can I see this as what it is versus what people are telling me to see it as? If you're not building relationships in Austin, you're missing it. And in 10 years, you'll remember this interview.
What's your name and what do you do?
My name is Erinn. I'm myself for a living.
For our ask creators, how are they taking care of themselves and their business? Is it cool if I ask you a few questions?
Definitely.
What's one thing that completely changed your perspective in life?
Perspective is rocked daily, but just because the guy on stage was talking about Romania, first time I ever went out of the country, I was 19, and I went to Romania, and I was just like, the world is nothing like what people are telling us it is. To go to Romania, I was in this internship, and they gave us this class. It was just like a one day, like 2 hours about like safety in other countries, what to look out for, and they were just like so interested in telling us how dangerous Romania was. And then I went over there, and we were over there, like we were at a playground, me and my homies, and this kid walked up to us, because we were black, and Romania has like 0.04% black people. So in the mall one time, we saw one of the other 3 black people that lived there, and of course the dude walks straight up to us. But we're at the park, the kid walks up, knows we're American immediately because we're black, and he goes, "Oh, you American?" And I'm like, yeah, what's up? And he was like a darker kid, he had curly hair, and he like darker Romanian kid, not full on black, but probably looked like a little bit more like Egyptian. And he was like, "You're from America. It's very dangerous there, I hear." And I was like, yep. Like in that moment, I just remember smiling. I was like, nah, it's not. And I'm from the south side of Atlanta. I was living in Atlanta at the time. Atlanta is classified as a dangerous city, but I never felt like it was a dangerous city. And so when the kid said that to me, I immediately correlated it to how I felt about Atlanta. It's like they say statistically it's super dangerous, but it's not. So they had told us Romania is super dangerous. And this kid, he was like 7 or 8 from Romania. It's like, yo, what's up? You're Americans. I hear it's super dangerous. So that shit, it completely like rocked my world. But I immediately was like, I knew it wasn't like they had told me, but everything from there, I was like, how can I see this as what it is versus what people are telling me to see it as?
What's a bad piece of advice you hear all the time?
Have a plan B. I think plan Bs help people defer to laziness and help people be intentional about having backups. If you have no backup, you lean all the way in, but most people don't know what it looks like or feels like to lean all the way in, and the fear of leaning all the way in is what causes you to say you need to have a plan B. I'm not saying don't have a plan B, especially if you're starting late in life. If you have a family, like if you're a man, you have a family, or even a woman, whoever, if you have a family and you're like, they're relying on you, you have to take more calculated risk, but you should be stretching yourself to take risk. If you're single and childless, if you're young, in your 20s, if you're in your teens, don't listen to that, because if you learn how to lean all the way in, when that thing fails, because the first thing you lean into is inevitably going to fail because you don't have enough context. When that thing fails, you're able to take the next steps towards getting to what you actually want and being exceptional at it. But if you never practice the process of leaning fully in, you never get great at anything. You're just good. And good is the enemy of great. Good is really hard to sustain because good gets hard. Greatness is inevitable if you're always growing. So it's like you have to be great, and being great requires you to fully lean in.
What's one thing people assume about you that's totally wrong?
People assume that I'm just like a tyrant and I'm running over people and I'm mean, or that I'm just like dead set on everything. I'm a nurturer by nature. I'm decisive because I'm the middle child, only girl of a military. My dad was a military man, then went into the FAA, then became a pastor. So he just is like a very stoic, hard-ass type of human. I learned to be decisive because I recognized that it was way more important for me to know what my yeses were about and to say no to things versus being like, I don't know, I'm just vibing. I do a lot of vibing, I promise you. I do a ton of vibing, but I think people either think I'm a hard-ass and I'm mean, or they think I'm just vibes. It depends on if you catch me while I'm working, you think that I'm just like, oh, she's so serious. And if you catch me while I'm chilling, you think I'm just vibes. So I get caught in the midst of that because when I'm trying to go pitch something, people, I always see it, they're like, oh shoot, she actually knows what she's talking about. Or it's like when I start talking about what I'm interested in or what I'm heard about or like the way that I function in life and the things that I desire, a lot of people realize like how soft I am and like how much I need to be cared for and nurtured, and then how much of a nurturer I am myself. So yeah, I think I get misperceived all the time because like I like myself, so I'm confident. And so the assumption is that I'm whatever whatever. And then I don't know, I'm in creative spaces. I dress well and I like to have fun. So then people are just like, oh, she's vibes. So I don't know. I'm like representing what like new women in business look like. I'm representing what eclectic. I'm from Atlanta too. That's another thing. If you're in Atlanta, you understand me. In Atlanta, I don't have to explain myself. I'm an ATLian for sure. But like when I'm other places and I meet ATLians, especially women, they're like, oh, what's up? Like they get me. But when I'm I'm a little bit different, but I'm from Atlanta. If you're from Atlanta, you understand what that means. Not living in Atlanta, from Atlanta. Respect to the people living in Atlanta, but from Atlanta, especially I'm from the South Side. If you're from Atlanta and you know about the South Side or from the South Side, you'll really get me.
If you had to give a TED Talk tomorrow without preparation, what would you talk about?
Being yourself for a living. I'm the embodiment of the alignment that I've always been after. I want to align with myself. I want to align with my purpose. I want to align with my creator. If I'm plugged into the manual maker, then I'll always succeed, you know? Yeah, I would give a TED Talk about being yourself for a living. Being yourself has nothing to do with what you do. You know, a lot of people are trying to find fun or like figure out how to relieve, whatever. I'm not saying that every day of my life is just exciting and amazing. It is exciting, but there's hard work involved. There's a lot of heartache. There's a lot of sacrifice required when you decide to like truly pursue who you are with reckless abandon. There's a lot of stuff that you have to work through when you have to truly decide to pursue who you are with reckless abandon and align with that. There's a lot of casualties of war, specifically your feelings, your perception. Like I had to give up my desire for people to perceive me as a good person or to like me because I like myself a lot and I recognize that I'm not for everybody, but it's because I'm an innovator. And when you innovate, you're not as palatable because you're stretching the limits of people's understanding and imagination. So once I got over that, I was just like, yeah, I'm here to be who I was created to be. And as I do that, like I make money off of that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm fully existing in who I'm supposed to be and only ever expanding into who I'm going to be. So I'm grateful. But yeah, TED Talk, definitely. Being yourself for a living.
Tell us about the New Austin.
New Austin is being shaped by Black culture the same way that American culture has been shaped by Black culture. Number 1 or number 2 city for Black transplants working in tech. So I think number 3 or number 4 city for Black millennials with disposable income to move into. So just like all of American culture has been shaped by Black culture, Austin is being shaped by the new Black culture. It's in a battle with Nashville to be the Silicon Valley of the South. So the government is equipping people with incentives, but they also have the film bubble that's happening here, led by Black and Asian filmmakers and creatives. And so it's like there's a lot of film festivals popping up, a lot of film cohorts popping up. So you've got tech, which is where the money really lies. You've already got the art because it's the live music city capital of the world. But then you're also getting the art from the film right now because it's so rapidly expanding. You're getting all of the culture, like as my business partner and I coined, you're getting the urban rural fashion scene right now. So you're like seeing a lot of like workwear meets Southern country culture. You're seeing the reclamation of Black country music, Black country style. And then just really like the dance scene is starting to pop here. The house scene is starting to pop here. So it's a perfect melding of like the best of the best parts of our culture and what American culture is evolving to with the Black and brown folks. You know, just really a melting pot here. But Austin is the future of America. It's the epicenter of culture. And if you're smart, you're either buying property here or spending a lot of time here. But if you're not building relationships in Austin, you're missing it. And in 10 years, you'll remember this interview.
Why is it important for you as a creative entrepreneur to take care of your health holistically?
I'm a steward. I was sitting here as a conduit. So if I don't steward my health well, I don't get to live up to the maximum capabilities and capacity that I was put here to do. I've lived on the other side of it, killing myself for the dream or the perception of the dream and the people around me. And it's like I'm completely spent and pouring from an empty glass to people who have taken my glass and they're saying it's not enough. And I realize that the benefit of me comes at its highest capacity when I'm full and able to pour from that fullness. And then because I'm myself for a living, thought is my most tangible and necessary asset. Like my intellectual property is my nest egg. I was sent here with otherworldly thoughts and ideas. And the more that I develop and hone those, the better that I am at the business that I'm building and the things that I do in life, the more present that I am with my nieces and nephews, the more capable that I am to love my parents and my brothers and the people around me. So it's like we find ourselves to be one-dimensional or like just barely dimensional because we're just trying to survive. If we're distracted by survival, then we'll never be able to thrive and we'll never be able to influence the people that we're supposed to influence. So it takes a lot of time to sit and think and to embody that, because you will be in this rat race like, no, I have to make more money, I have to do these things. And it's like, there are rules of engagement, there are understandings and things that you have to do, but the game only has to be played as long as you're learning it. Once you learn the game, you can create your own. So I stopped playing the game years ago, but it really is important for you stop playing the game when you heal yourself. Yeah, so when you heal and when you surrender to your maker, that's when everything that you need comes. So it's important for you to take time and care for yourself, because you're missing out on your whole purpose if you don't. You're fragmented. You know, you don't want to have a fractional glimpse of what I could have impacted. You'll never know your full impact. I don't want my life to end and only have a fractional or fragmented approach, or like have given just a portion of myself. I would have rather fully spent myself in a way that I feel aligned with than to just say, well, I did 10 or 20 or 30. I don't even want to do 70% of what I was put here for. I want 100. I want it all. Like, I want to do what I was sent here for.